bugs. And as our dig continued past midnight, we kept on searching for heavenly portals, for UFOs, for alien bodies. So, did we find them? Did we heck? But finally, we did come up with a rational explanation. Our dig in a field near Roslin Chapel was a complete waste of time and money. Despite the early signs that we'd found something of alien origin, in fact, all our machinery had detected was a difference in soil densities caused by 20th century ploughing. We hadn't found any evidence of, well, anything paranormal at Roslin Chapel. No alien graves, no portals to alien dimensions. It was all terribly disappointing. And that made us question the rest of the UFO hotspot story. Was there any more substance to it than our silly alien dig? The psychics couldn't say where the portal was. The Hlabni music didn't work, so what about all those people who swore blind they'd seen aliens and UFOs? Remember Craig Malcolm? The one who couldn't get any sleep for the number of UFOs he claimed he was seeing? Well, we got his footage checked out by the police.
So, field 172, next mark, move on. 320, we're expecting another flash from that side there. There it is. So, without a shadow of doubt, that's an aircraft going through the sky.
Bonnybridge, the town at the centre of the hotspot, is slap bang in the approach path of not one, but two major airports.
The aircraft coming on the daily shuttles, morning and evenings, would be almost, as we say, down the throat of the camera lens going to intercept the approach path, where landing lights would be fairly bright in the sky and in a hover type of position. 75% of these objects are in fact certainly aircraft making approaches with their headlights on going into Glasgow Airport.
It seems that in most cases Craig Malcolm might simply be mistaken. But what of the other 25% of the clips? If they're not aircraft, then what are they? What we discovered next put the whole hotspot theory into question. Could it all be put down to an unholy mixture of hocus pocus and skullduggery? Craig Malcolm's footage is amongst the most convincing evidence that Scotland is an alien hotspot, but this police forensics team was sceptical.
I'll run it again on full screen.
I mean, it could be being dangled on cables, it could be a cork floating in the water, it could be anything. It's not identifiable. The problem we have is that there is no date, time, there is nothing in the area around it that gives us any size information. It doesn't look as if it ought to be able to be flown. We can't confirm whether in fact it's in the sky, in the sea, or on somebody's window or a stone chip even.
What exactly has Craig Malcolm been filming? The inside of his lens cap? And there's always the possibility that his footage is a hoax.
In this particular case, it's not beyond man's ingenuity to try and kid the public into thinking they're photographing objects from outer space.
I have no reason to sit here and look like a prize plonker, to be honest. I just want to find out what they are and where they're coming from. That's my main issue, and when whatever does happen, or when it does happen, at least I can turn around and say to people, told you.
It seems likely that we can rule out the idea that Craig Malcolm has been filming alien craft. But he's not the only one to make these claims.
These are not the approaches to Edinburgh Airport that are being noticed. Some very, very strange lights in the sky. Things that don't have wing lights and things that don't have tail lights and strobe lights. These are some very strange craft floated out here at night.
Andrew Hennessy also made those amazing allegations about a military alien subterranean collaboration. Any truth in that? Well, we asked the Land Registry Office to reveal the true nature of that mysterious, fenced-off, grassy hill that he said was an entrance to a vast alien tunnel network. And they said it was an underground reservoir. Hardly the stuff of global conspiracies. Unless, of course, the Water Board was in on it too. So how about the local councillor for Bonnybridge, who was voted into office by almost 5,000 people? He has, of course, only got their best interests at heart. Which is probably why he wants to twin the town with that other great hotspot, Roswell, New Mexico, and open a UFO theme park in Bonnybridge.
And why no? Bonnybridge has lost 12,000 jobs to the demise of the heavy industries over the years, and if I could use the UFO phenomenon to bring prosperity to Bonnybridge in terms of jobs, why not?
But what about the whole story of the Falkirk Triangle itself? A bit of digging amongst the archives revealed that there were hardly any UFO sightings in Scotland until 12 years ago. Which just happens to be when that first article appeared in a local paper. On a day when there was very little other news. It talked of lots of sightings by local people in Bonnybridge. And almost immediately, sightings themselves avalanched. So could the whole Falkirk Triangle phenomenon be a kind of media-induced bandwagon?
People are very afraid to make UFO reports. They don't know who to go to, perhaps they're afraid of ridicule. So once a story runs, people feel more comfortable about speaking out.
Hearsay and the media seem such a powerful combination that once a good story gets going, it's impossible to stop. But for all our scepticism, there will always be an element of doubt, because Brian Allen and co remain convinced after a decade of airing their theories, and they're not changing them anytime soon.
People that call themselves skeptics are often debunkers, and debunkers often call themselves skeptics. A debunker would not admit the truth if it came up and bit them on the ankle. They just won't admit it.
So who knows? Maybe some of the hot spots really are hot spots. But the Falkirk Triangle doesn't seem to be one of them. But one thing at least is sure. Roslin remains an enigmatic place, full of secrets and mysteries. It's just that the only mystery it probably can't lay claim to is that one about beings from other worlds.